The news shows violence every few weeks. A threat here, a shooting there, life seems to go on. But why do these things seem to happen in places we specifically designate to be protected against violence? Why are schools, venues, and places of worship targeted so frequently compared to the rest of the feasible places for a shooter to target? In the past 3 decades, there's been a massive upshift in the rate of how many people are killed in mass shootings. Many of these shootings have occurred in public places, according to the Crime Prevention Research Center, with 97.8% of the mass shootings happening in areas deemed to be gun-free zones. The criteria were set by the CRPC by using the FBI's definition of a gun-free zone, in addition of any places where the average citizen with the correct permits cannot carry firearms. Schools, churches, military bases, places of voting, places that serve alcohol, and places of business or venues that don't allow firearms to be carried are all counted as gun-free zones. Schools in the United States have minimum security, with only 43% of U.S. public schools having an armed officer in the school at least once a week, according to Mary Danivelova and Larry Fenn of the Associated Press. Those officers aren't there all the time, and in those times when they aren't there, what would stop a theoretical shooter from attacking the school? Nothing. Not really one thing at all, other than to possibly throw stuff at the shooter or attempt to wrestle a firearm or other weapon from the shooter. Every other idea revolves around the same lame but duck idea that's sitting down and waiting until other people with guns can come and take care of this situation. Even in highly restricted settings, such as California, mass shootings still do happen. On November 9, at the Borderline Bar in Thousand Oaks, California, there was still a mass shooting where 12 people were killed, according to Fox News. The Aurora, Colorado shooter shot up a theater. Why? There were 7 movie theaters showing the movie that the gunman had dressed up to attend and was seemingly obsessed about, all within 20 minutes of his residence. So why did he choose that specific theater to attack? It wasn't the closest, or the one with the largest venue, but it was the one that didn't allow people with concealed weapon permits to carry their firearms on themselves while in the theater. Is this a coincidence? Seemingly not. With the simple fact that most mass shootings do happen in places where most people can't carry guns, whether the actual location is considered gun-free zone or not, it definitely seems that gun-free zones don't do what they are meant to do: keep shooters out. The Fort Hood, Google, Orlando, San Bernardino, to name a few, are all shootings where people couldn't defend themselves. Some gun control advocates that I have talked to claim that gun culture is to blame for the need for gun-free zones. But how many mass shootings happen at gun ranges, shooting competitions, or gun shows? None. At least that I can find. In this culture of ours, where all you need to do is pass a background check to buy a firearm, there aren't many shootings in places where guns are most common. My point, and that of many who think like me, have come to the conclusion that gun-free zones don't stop shootings. They just paint targets on the backs of those who are in the zones. While almost everything works in theory, the evidence doesn't support that gun-free zones work.